I'm Nintendo.
And I'm Sega.
This is Console War!
To ESPN Infinity, the sports network for games no one watches. I'm James.
And I'm Carl. And if we got a game for you, remember that rivalry from the 90s, Sega versus Nintendo? Well, they're here today to settle that rivalry the only way that makes sense. Football.
And boy, was this game a mess. But what can you expect from these first-time coaches? Just not good.
Oh, I can't believe you're watching this.
I don't remember it being that bad.
It's because you got blackout drunk. Us coaching video game characters in football was terrible. And now we're going to cover the highlights. Or should I say, blunders.
Should be a doozy. And we'll start with a pass from Mario. His intended target is Kirby. Mario with a pass, Tails going for an interception, and Kirby eats him.
I've got to tell you, I've seen this 100 times, and this is exactly why you don't play on an empty stomach.
And now here's Sonic running the ball. He could go all the way and into a wall of spikes.
Ooh, that was a good call on defense. I believe that was left over from the Mega Man halftime show.
And here's a field goal attempt by Echo the Dolphin a la Ace Ventura. And he's not even close.
Everybody knows you should have laces out.
Now back to Sonic, looking for an open receiver. Donkey Kong throws a barrel at him. Sonic's still holding the ball, and the barrel nails Tails.
I do believe that rhymed.
Thank you, I've been working on my poetry. Mario with the ball, defender's in his way, but then he uses the mushroom and becomes big. Nothing can stop him now.
Now, I'm a little confused here. How does eating a mushroom make both his clothes and the football larger?
Here's the princess running the ball. Cool Spot is ready to stop her, but she jumps over him, getting the first down. Then tackled by Fox McCloud!
Her own teammate. I know what they'll say in the locker room. Fox, well, that's one of ours.
Mario with the pass. Kirby's his intended target again, but Tails for the last-minute interception, and he's on fire!
Turns out Mario faked and threw a fireball. Who would have thought a fox would have been that flammable?
Just a disaster showing all around, Carl.
I've been doing this a long time, and I see a lot of talent out on that field today. But I blame the coaching.
Oh, absolutely. What a bunch of losers.
He's blaming us? They kept killing Tails.
Well, we gotta turn things around for next week's game.
How am I a bad coach? I've played lots of football.
You have?
Yeah. Well, video game football. Games like Tecmo Super Bowl. For the Sega Genesis.
Alright, I played that too, but it's better for the Super Nintendo.
What? That's it! Are we doing this?
It's a solar day on Mars, 24 hours, 39 minutes, and 35 seconds. Yes.
Best Tecmo Super Bowl.
Tecmo Super Bowl is an American football game originally released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1991. Developed and published by Tecmo, it's the first video game that was allowed to use both real NFL team names and NFL player names. The NES version is considered one of the most influential sports games of all time.
In 1993, the games were released for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis with updated rosters for that year. The game had 2 sequels and even a PlayStation port in 1996. The 16-bit versions are very similar, but there are some differences. Which one's better? Let's find out.
There's not much to compare when it comes to the graphics.
Yeah, these games both had the same underwhelming look.
Neither of the games looks like a huge upgrade over the NES game. Players are still pretty plain, not much detail there. Both games have 3 different settings based on the weather: clear, rain, and snow. The in-game graphics are very simple.
These games have lots of cinematics. While they showcase the same elements, they do look different for each game. One thing these versions do well is integrate cutscenes seamlessly with the gameplay. Sometimes it happens after a play. It can happen during plays. It can even be the entire play, like a field goal. lots of cutscenes.
They're really simple looking games.
But there are some differences, and I have something you don't.
Other than the football players, both games have other people in the background. You have the chain crew, cheerleaders, and the crowd. They seem similar at first, but if you look closer, there is a difference. The crowd on Sega moves. They're moving the entire time you're playing. On Super Nintendo, they don't move. They're just keeping completely still. The only time they actually move is after a first down or a touchdown. Enjoy your boring crowd.
Okay, so the crowd doesn't move, but I have actual reasons my graphics are better.
Look at the football field. On Super Nintendo, you can see 2 different shades of green. You can even see this when it rains and snows. On Sega, it's just one color, no matter what the weather's like. Speaking of the elements, let's look at the rain. On Super Nintendo, not only do you see the rain, but there's also an effect on the water hitting the ground. Not mind-blowing, but hey, it's something. The Sega game, no effect on the field. You just see the raindrops.
Okay, the grass, the weather. What are you gonna talk about next? The paint on the field?
Kinda. More specifically, let's talk about the end zones. Let's start with your game.
On Sega, the end zone is a Tecmo logo. For both teams. Doesn't matter who's playing, Tecmo logo. On Super Nintendo, you actually get the name of the teams in the end zone, written in the team font, just like real football. Makes it feel a little more official. And during the Pro Bowl on Super Nintendo, you get the name of each conference in the end zone. On Sega, again, more Tecmo logo. Super Nintendo just has a little more.
Even though both games are limited graphically, my game still has an edge.
For having a more detailed field, more from the elements, and actual team names in the end zones, best graphics go to Super Nintendo.
Presentation's almost the same.
Yeah, similar cutscenes.
Like we said before, these games are loaded with cutscenes during the gameplay, each with their own art style. And it's definitely a good thing, because the regular graphics don't cut it. There's even a halftime show. No cutscenes after the game though, just stats. Playoff contenders do get some recognition. Between each quarter you get a billboard and a score. What's this? Ninja Gaiden on Sega Genesis? What?
Both games have cool little intros that showcase the different NFL teams. There's also cutscenes for injuries, the playoffs, and Super Bowl. Both games also have short endings that show you the winning roster and credits.
Very similar.
But I have a little more. Let's go back to the intros.
Both games' intros list the names of all the teams. Pretty much the same. Or are they? On Super Nintendo, the name of the team is done in the font of the actual team. On Sega, it's not. It's just a generic font. You also see the team font with a touchdown. Again, generic font on Sega. This all makes the Super Nintendo game feel a little more official.
So, I still have the helmets with the logos, just like your game.
Alright then, let's compare the HUDs.
First off, the HUD on Super Nintendo is much bigger, easier to see the player names and clock. Also, since the HUD of Sega is on a black background, it makes the playing field smaller. You get the full picture on the Super Nintendo since everything just lays on the playing field.
It's not fancy, but my HUD does have more.
The HUD on Sega shows the score of the entire game. You only see the score on Super Nintendo right before it play.
You don't need to see the score the entire time.
Oh really? Because I can think of a scenario where you would. Hello?
Hello, Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, you do not get to use that joke again, especially because my score is on the screen.
Well, it's not there as much as mine.
Fine, let's talk about things missing in your game.
Before a play on Super Nintendo, you see what quarter you're in. You don't get that on Sega. After a play on the Super Nintendo, you see how many yards you've gained or lost. You don't get that on Sega either.
Okay, but I do have quarter and yards in the playbook.
Right. Let's compare those playbooks.
On Super Nintendo, the playbook comes in right where the last play ended. In the background, you can still see the field. On Sega, darkness, no field, just the playbook on a black screen.
And just one more thing. The weather.
Check out Sega when you select the weather. It's just the text, no visuals. Now check out the Super Nintendo. You actually see the different weather condition. Classy.
Again, my game just did a little more.
For having the official NFL fonts, a HUD that doesn't obstruct your view, details just missing in the Sega game, nice weather menu, and a playbook with the field in the background, best presentation goes to Super Nintendo!
When it comes to music, some of her songs are the same.
Music's also the same after certain plays.
We also have a lot of different songs, and mine kinda rock.
What? My music is so much better for football.
So we both like our own songs.
Does this mean we got a tie?
Not necessarily. Listen to the music on the main menu.
Here's the music for the Super Nintendo main menu. And here's Sega. That's right, no music.
Okay, so I gotta select my game mode in silence. But I do have voiceovers.
Okay, my game has those too.
Ready, set, hut, 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 hut. Touchdown.
I don't know, I think mine might sound better.
But those are your only voiceovers. The Super Nintendo game is loaded with them.
The Super Nintendo has so many voiceovers. The Sega game just sounds empty by comparison.
First down.
And pre-snap, the Super Nintendo says different things.
Red 24. Red 24. Hut, hut, hut. Round 52. Round 52. Hut, hut, hut. Blue 43. Hut, hut, hut.
On Sega, it's always the same.
Ready, set, hut, hut. Ready, set, hut, hut, hut. Ready, set, hut, hut, hut.
It makes sense because my game has more composers.
Both games have as composers R. Shigino, Kei Yamagishi, Kei Nakabai, and H. Miyazaki. But Super Nintendo also has T. Hanoka and T. Nakanishi.
My sound is just a little bit better.
With a song for the menu and a lot more voiceovers, best sound goes to Super Nintendo!
Gameplay is pretty much the same.
Yep. How are we gonna do this? There's a lot of rules. If we just explain everything, people might get bored.
Let's just try it. Can't be that boring.
Both games can be played in 3 modes: preseason, a regular season, or Pro Bowl. Preseason and Pro Bowl consist of just one game. Regular season consists of a 17 or 18-week schedule, depending on the year, plus playoffs in the Super Bowl. All these can be played on 1 or 2 player.
Each mode has different ways to control the players. Manual, where you control one person at a time. Coach, where you just pick a play and the computer does the rest. Or Computer, where you do nothing but watch the computer play 16-bit football. Regular Season also has a skip feature, which goes right to the results of the game.
This leads to many different ways to play a game. When playing two-player, you can mix and match. One person can be manual, while another be the coach. It's really up to the player how hands-on they want to be.
I don't know, man. It just seems way too wordy.
I know, I dozed off 3 times while you were talking.
Wait a minute. I have an idea. The game has different ways to control players, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's pick a different mode to explain the gameplay.
What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's not like I'm just gonna hit a button and the menu's gonna... Weird.
Sweet! I knew it!
I guess I'll pick FST.
Obviously short for fast. Good choice.
The playbook controls how you play.
Why was that so slow?
Let me check the manual.
The game manual?
No, the Console Wars Manual for Life.
Ah, okay. Because that's a thing.
FST stands for Frustrating Slow Talk.
That makes no sense.
SLW stands for Speaking in Lightning Words.
These are the worst abbreviations ever. Okay, speaking lightning words.
Playbook. Pops up after every play. Controls player actions. 8 to choose from. 4 running, 4 passing. Offense picks play. Defense guesses what offense picked. Fun, fun, fun.
Playbook controls. Button combo. D-pad and one of 2 buttons. Super easy.
More playbook controls. Change players. Swap out plays. Punt. Kick field goal. Or call timeout. Yeah.
Field controls. Just 2 buttons. Offense or defense. Just 2 buttons.
Customized. Weather and quarter length. For preseason and Pro Bowl. Not in regular season. No, no, no. Regular season. Random weather. 5-minute quarters.
New for 16 bits. Player control touchbacks. Dive play. Designated return team. Stat achievements. The weather is new too.
Data. Game saves automatically. Reset to start new season.
One more thing. Injuries happen and no penalties. Play safe.
Why'd you stop? Still gotta go over the rules for the regular season.
I want to try something. Oh, music mode.
Regular season. 18 weeks in the playoffs and Super Bowl. Oh yeah. Regular season. There's 3 different years or just play all 3. Oh yeah.
Hey, I don't want to listen to Pearl Jam. Got any Beastie Boys on there?
I know, you sing that every day and I don't feel like listening to it again.
Oh, come on, just let me do it.
No,
Come
give me,
on, come on,
get
come on.
off. Great, you broke it. It's like living with a 6-year-old. Now I have to do everything manually.
Regular season doesn't mean you pick a team and you go through 17 or 18 weeks. You have to sit through every other team's games and see their results.
Luckily, the teams are already in skip mode, so you'll just have to see the score and the team stats. It can be tedious though. After every game, you're taken back to the menu and have to go through it all over again. And you have to keep repeating this until your team is up.
But there is a way around it. There is auto skip. If you want to just play as your team, select manual or coach, then auto skip. You'll still see the results of each game, but much faster and no stats. Plus, you won't have to push any buttons until it's your turn to play.
You can even skip the whole season. Don't have to watch or play any games. Just see all the results of all 17 or 18 weeks. Then it's the playoffs and the Super Bowl. You can't auto skip here, but you can just regular skip in case you want to just see a winner.
Also available for viewing is the schedule and a bunch of team stats. You can see the NFL standings, team rankings, NFL leaders, and team data. It's very in-depth.
Well, we did it. That's everything.
Made it through the whole thing.
I don't have anything else to say.
Neither do I.
Does this mean tie?
For both games playing exactly the same,
With neither game missing anything, having any exclusives, or really doing anything better,
gameplay is a tie.
Even though both games are very similar, one is better, and that is Tecmo Super Bowl for the Super Nintendo.
It has better graphics with a more detailed field, more from the elements, and actual official team logos in the end zones. It has better presentation with the HUD that doesn't obstruct your view, details just missing in the Sega game, nice weather menu, and a playbook with the field in the background. It has better sound with a song in the main menu, but more importantly, lots of voiceovers.
First down.
And its gameplay is just as good as the Sega Genesis. The Sega game is fine, but head-to-head, it just doesn't quite measure up. This is one of those cases where the games play exactly the same, but one looks and sounds better. And that game is on the SNES. Best Tecmo Super Bowl goes to Super Nintendo!
Man, we played that all week.
It's all for the best, man. Oh, we're gonna be so ready for this football game. Oh, no one's gonna call us losers over again. Guts and glory! Yeah!
Welcome back to ESPN Infinity. I'm James.
And I'm Carl.
And the losers are back.
And by losers, we mean the coaches of the Sega and Nintendo football teams. Let's go to those highlights.
Should be a doozy. Here's Mario trying to use a mushroom again, but he grabs the wrong thing, and frog! That absolutely leveled!
Now everyone knows the frog suit is only for water levels. It's no good on land.
And out to Sonic. Here he is running the ball. He could go all the way, but he does not make it to the end zone. Instead, he gets distracted by a slot machine and just kinda stays there.
I'll tell you, it's Casino Night Zone all over again.
Now to Echo the Dolphin, move from special teams to offense.
Well, there's not much doing there.
And now a player meltdown. Cool Spot stormed off the field while taking his clothes off.
Well, apparently there was some kind of a discrepancy and he was unhappy about teammates drinking Sprite.
And now another bizarre play. Mario with the pass. Donkey Kong is wide open, but then he walks away. Instead, he kidnaps the princess. Mario is in hot pursuit.
I'll tell you, James, this one really takes me back. I just hope there's no construction sites around.
Now let's check in on Echo the Dolphin, who's changed positions again to defense. Well, no movement there. I guess that fish really needed some water.
Well, actually, dolphins are mammals.
No one cares. And now for our final play. Mario with the ball. Defender's in his way again. Tries to use a mushroom, but he fumbles it. And then it's taken by Tails. Tails then decides to have revenge against everyone for last week's game. Oh, the humanity.
He's literally beating everybody, even the coaches.
And that's pretty much how the game ended.
Bad for football, but pretty okay for us.
Pretty okay indeed, Carl. Pretty okay. Indeed.
Well, that certainly could have got a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think we should be coaching football.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What about hockey?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Thanks for checking out our latest video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Support us on Patreon for early releases and bonus content. Also, check out our new live stream channel, Console Wars Live. All future streams will be there from now on. Special thanks to Thomas and Fredric for their donations of both games. If there's games you'd like to see us review, let us know in the comments. We will get to them. Also, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more Console Wars goodness. Later.
Console Wars Manual of Life.
Man, forever fun. Forever.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
I gotta.
Uh-huh.